Hi, my name is Gracious Ngwenya, and this is my presentation on the geotechnical evaluation of a proposed site for the construction of a reservoir and a new small dam. We did some extensive investigations while carrying out this desktop investigation. I compiled all investigations thoroughly by myself. I'm going to take you through a couple of topics which we're going to go through. One of them being a description of the site. We're going to briefly describe the site and that which takes place at the site, details as to where the site is located, the type of topography that we're dealing with, the type of soil contents and climate conditions that we're dealing with, as well as recommended and proposed geotechnical field investigation programs that we recommended. So these are the topics: site description, climatic and topographic data, geological setting, identification and description of the geology at and around the site, geotechnical constraints and potential problematic ground conditions, recommended geotechnical investigation strategies, proposed geotechnical field investigation program, occupational health and safety, environmental considerations, although we sometimes tend to forget that one. And then lastly, conclusions and professional recommendations. All right. This is the site that we're looking at. It's a site located in Ga-Mathipa, Ragopola, Fetakgomo-Tubatse Local Municipality in the Limpopo Province. The approximate geographical position of this proposed dam site is 24 degrees, 32 seconds, and 32 minutes and 0 seconds south latitude, and 30 degrees, 10 minutes and 12 seconds east longitude. These coordinates are indicative and should be verified through a detailed topographical and cadastral survey during the planning and design stages. While reviewing the site, we were able to find a few characteristics regarding the site. It's got seasonal tributary, Steelpoort River catchment, rural environment. It's got a narrow valley and it's suitable for storage, water storage. All right. So we've reached the climate and topography. We've got a semi-arid climate rainfall, with rainfall running between 500 and 700 millimeters per year. Our rainfall season falls between October and March, so it's a pretty standard and average location. When we calculated our Waynard-N value, we reached an average of around 4. We've got moderate chemical weathering. Our topography has a narrow valley, natural catchment, good storage potential, and sloping terrain, which is suitable for an earthfill dam. All right. This is interesting. Our foundation conditions are topsoil, residual clay, alluvial deposits, weathered rock, and competent rock. We have a pretty good geological setting. The proposed site lies within the Bushveld Indigenous Complex. Expected rock types that we've seen there are your norite, your gabbro, your pyroxenite. Your expected soils are your residual clay, alluvial clay, sand, and gravel. And some of the engineering characteristics are good strong rock, high bearing capacity, keeping in mind that this is a desktop investigation, low compressibility, suitable dam foundations. Some of our geotechnical risks are fractured rock, bedrock, weathered rock, dispersive clay, foundation seepage, expansive clay, soft alluvial deposits, and weathered rock. Now, when we look at the rock mass assessment, expected discontinuities are joints, weathered zones, minor faults, rock contacts. And some of our own engineering concerns are increase in seepage, reduce shear strength, create weak zones, and influence foundation stability. So what we've done is compile a list of recommended assessments that need to take place, which are your RMR, your GSI, your packet tests, and as well as your RQD. Our proposed site investigation boreholes, right? There's 5 rotary core boreholes, 3 along the dam center line, one left abutment, and one right abutment. Our trial pits are ranging between 8 and 10, and our additional testing, which is your SPT and your DCP, packet tests, and groundwater water monitoring, are just some of the additional testings which we're trying to look at when we consider a proposition for boreholes in this area. Now, obviously, considering health and safety, occupational health and safety, our main requirements are risk assessments, PPE, safe excavations, safe machinery, emergency procedures and training. And without this being, this is an obvious applicable legislation is obviously Occupational Health and Safety Act 84 of 1993, construction regulations, as well as general safety regulations. Environmental considerations, potential impacts, vegetation clearing, soft erosion, water pollution, groundwater impacts, noise and dust, water generation, and therefore what we've done is compile a list of required assessments that need to take place in order to mitigate for these environmental considerations which I've just listed. And those form a part of the EIA, which is your environmental impact assessment, your wetland assessment, hydrology, aquatic ecology, heritage assessment, environmental management program. In conclusion, our key findings are that the site appears quite suitable. Bushveld rocks provide competent foundations. Weathered zones require investigation. Seepage control will be important. Environmental impacts can be managed, as well as further investigations are required before design. Mainly because this is just a desktop investigation. We worked with information that we were able to obtain online. No on-site tests were done, and therefore we recommend further investigations to ensure just enough accuracy when compiling any designs or further analyses for construction. Alright, so our recommendations are that conduct a detailed site investigation. Number 1, drill 5 boreholes, right, and test and see how far you find. Excavate trial pits, complete laboratory testing, obtain environmental permissions and approvals. Implement QA and QC during construction, that's mandatory. Monitor seepage and settlement after construction. And therefore our final recommendation is that this proposed site is considered suitable for a small earthfill dam, subject to confirmation through field investigations and laboratory testing. There's a quote I like by Theodore von Karman. He said, "Scientists study the world as it is, whereas us engineers create the world that has never been." I just want to say thank you for taking your time to go through this presentation with me. My name is Gracious Ngwenya, and this is my desktop investigation on this proposed site for a dam and reservoir.